Talent Managereiden pöydästä. Tervetuloa Laura Lindeman, Working yksikkö ja Talent Managerit. Toivotetaan tervetulleeksi.
Hyvää huomenta. Good morning everyone. We agreed with the organizers that Working Finland will speak English. So even though I'm a Finnish speaker, I will speak English, so also our whole team who has come here can follow. And talking about the team, I would like all the Working Finland people to stand up and wave so you know who we are. So, and we have already talked that Kuopio might get some new inhabitants because we have all fallen in love with Kuopio yesterday evening. I'm Laura Lindeman and I work as a Senior Director of Working Finland Unit at Business Finland. And I'm going to tell about Working Finland and what we can offer for companies, but before that, I will, including, or on top of that, I also want to highlight some key things why companies should be interested in this. Because as we just heard from Rasmus, it's a really big democratic challenge and challenge for our labor market. But of course, like from companies' perspective, what do they get out of international workforce, international competence and talents? Working Finland is a joint effort, joint service combination of Business Finland and KEHA Center. So we work together as a team with our KEHA colleagues. We support companies in attracting and recruiting international talents. We don't do recruitment ourselves, so we are not a recruitment service, but we support companies and other employers in different ways. Our job is also to make noise about Finland to international talents, to make us visible among international talents globally. So we also do, for example, marketing campaigns, PR, that is targeted to international talents. Finland might not be on the top 5 for international talents globally. Finland is not known, so we really need to show what Finland has to offer. We also promote Finland as a destination for startup founders, which is also an important aspect of attracting talents. As I promised, I want to highlight some facts before we talk more about Working Finland services. Actually, only 70%, or over 70% of industrial companies have never recruited international talents, even though there is the biggest potential for growth. Yes, it was shocking when we read this ETLA study. So there is room for improvement. At the same time, we know that if we get highly educated internationals moving to Finland, they also bring tax revenue to Finland. So it's beneficial also from financial perspective. International talents are already a very crucial part of our innovation ecosystems. In 60% of the patent applications, there are international team members already now. Actually, we just released a new study of the same study that we did in year 22 with InnoLink about how competence boosts growth of international competence boosts growth of companies. In 22, 64% of companies saw that international talents have affected to their growth. In the recent study that we just released this week, the percentage was 49, and this tells about the general growth situation of companies at the moment. Companies are not growing as fast as they did a couple of years ago. Already mentioned today, the potential of international students is huge. About 55% of international graduates are employed in Finland 1 year after graduation, and this is actually fairly good number, considering that also the number of international students have grown quite drastically recently. So number of international students staying has been growing, but still there is untapped potential that we are losing when international students who want to stay have to leave the country, and usually because they can't find a job. There is also this mismatch in the labor market because those companies and employers who can't find that kind of labor force that they need, they are not able to create new jobs. So there's also quite a lot of discussion how there are already unemployed people in Finland, so why do we need more? Well, it's not a zero-sum game at all, because we can't, our companies can't grow and create new jobs if they don't find that kind of labor that they need. It's been estimated that even if the employment rate raises to 80%, we still need over 100,000 new workers by 35. And already now, the increase of foreign workers is the reason for employment growth already at the moment. Okay, how about the benefits that international talent bring to companies, business and innovations? Well, it's one of the basic things in innovation policy that diversity brings innovations, new ways of thinking, out-of-the-box thinking. So that's one thing. The talent pool is quite much bigger if you think globally and not totally locally. So, of course, you have better opportunities to choose the best talents if you look wider. Also, access to new markets. If you have international people already in your company, it's so much more easy to start thinking in a global way and grow your business globally. Well-being at work is also one of the things, according to studies, that is growing if there is cultural diversity in the company. And employer brand, that's something where if we think about new generation, they want to work in companies that are global and international. This I'm referring to a bit old study already by Opetushallitus. Help me out, don't remember the name in English, but they did a study about hidden competencies of international talents already a few years ago. But it is still super valid, because actually those competencies that companies need are those that international background actually gives to you. For example, curiosity, cultural knowledge, understanding global trends, language skills, obviously, resilience, adaptability. Those are skills that are needed in today's working life. But why can't we see that in those people who have moved around in the world and lived in different places? Okay, then I want to bring an example of Work in Finland's recent campaign called Find Your Superposition in Finland. We are looking for companies in deep tech or health tech sector to join us to tell about Finland's top expertise and our top companies and research organizations that need talents. And we have already around 30 companies and research organizations that have joined. And hopefully there are also new companies in your region that could join us and yes, make noise about Finland. Companies don't have to be alone in solving this. There are lots of services locally, but also on a national scale. And you can, in this region, you can utilize Work in Finland services. There's information, mentoring, training. You will hear more about talent manager service right after this my speech. So check it out on the website. workinfinland.fi. You can find all the information there. And when you are attracting internationals to your company, you can also show workinfinland.com site, which is targeted for international talents and has gathered together all the information about working in Finland. And if there's anything to ask about international recruitment, whether the talent is already in Finland or still abroad, you can always call to advisory service, which the contact information is here, and you can also find it on Work in Finland website. That's my part. Now I would like to invite Jenni Falk and Santeri Ojala from our team to continue and moderate the talent manager part. Thank you, Matti.
Hi everyone, and it's really lovely to be here in Kuopio. I'm the CFO saying a really quick hi, and actually just asking you to help us to get a little bit insight from you guys. So, as you heard Laura giving like a really brief overview of what our services are, we would really like you to go to our survey and just kind of get 4-5 selections that you would just put there, like what would be important for your company in terms of international recruitment, and what kind of support you think that your company might need if you would be interested in it. So let's take your time, and there's also open field for any ideas or any questions what you might have, and we will go through them later. But this is my little part over here, thank you. And next is Santeri.
Yes, hello everyone, thank you Jenni. My name is Santeri Ojala and I work as the manager for international operations at Work in Finland Unit. And in the next session we will be introducing our focus countries for our work. So we will be introducing India, Vietnam, Philippines and Brazil. And in this presentation you will hear about the concrete support that we will offer in the focus countries. What type of talent there is available and what type of connections we can provide for companies. And we will get started now, so I will want to invite our first speaker. She will be Shrestha Sharma from India. Shrestha, please, you may take the mic from which is on the table.
Hi everyone. Very good morning. I love Kuopio. This is my second time here, and I find the people super warm. And Tampere is my most favorite, but I must say Kuopio is a very concrete competitor, I must say. And I'm really happy to be here again, meet all of you, some familiar faces and a lot of new faces, so really excited. Like Santeri mentioned and my colleagues, today I'm going to tell you more about India. I think most of us know about India because the highest number of specialists in Finland are right now Indians. specialists, as we know, also contribute largely to the monetary income and also the taxes in Finland. So I was really glad when Laura was speaking about it, and I'm very happy to share that most of them are Indians. So all the more reasons of why we need more and more specialists and top professionals that come from the country. As you can also see on the screen, it's not just IT professionals, but India is also now a source country for many different sectors in Finland. As you can see, healthcare, engineering, clean tech, and there are so many other sectors. In fact, skilled workforce is one more sector that Indians have been contributing to in Finland. We are also extensively working on the top expert campaign now that my colleagues just spoke about. So India would also be a very important hotspot for those kind of roles as well. If I talk about very quickly about the different segments of the workforce that India offers, we did a quick study to understand the different kinds of sectors that are of demand in Finland and which particular region in India would be useful for that, because India is huge. And each region of India, each state has its own competencies. We have done that research, and this is a quick slide on that, how there are different areas and different sectors that serves. And like we have repeated ourselves, we are here for you. So if you want to chat about India, if you have some concrete cases in your mind, or if you just want to know about the market and it's completely new for you, we are here for you and we can help and navigate this through. How do we do that on the ground? We conduct recruitment. And this is a standard recruitment cycle of if a person needs to be hired from India, how does it look like? To keep it very simple, there are 3 ways to hire from India and also from my other colleagues who will be talking about other countries, but these are tried and tested ways of hiring. One is recruitment-led. You find a partner, works very well for skilled workforce, works very well for technical roles where you need the person to get some kind of training. The other model is where you need to find an institution. So you don't want to indulge in any kind of agency. Then you can work with vocational schools, skilling associations, and the variety, or I would say the ecosystem is very robust, because India is not just the talent source for Finland, but actually right now the entire globe. The Prime Minister of India, who is of course very famous now, says that they want to make India the skill capital of the world. So a lot of investment coming in from the national government, from the state governments, and right time for us to tap into it, because everyone is working towards this mission in our country, as well as India and Finland is working a lot as of now. And the third is employer-led. So for instance, you don't want to indulge with anyone, and it works very well for top professionals where you don't really need technical training, but then you can also take our help. We are here to assist you to work through portals, Naukri.com, which is like a LinkedIn, but a very Indian version of LinkedIn, or LinkedIn, of course, and then there are other portals that we can, perhaps get in touch with to find these right talents. This is a very important slide, so I would spend more than the average time that I have done. Now, what do we do in our home countries? Especially a country like India, where we have hundreds and thousands of recruitment partners, and what do we bring to you? And that's where our role becomes super important. We do not quick research, I would say detailed analysis to find out the top 10 partners in our countries. And that's what we have done in India. This is a process, as you can see, 6-step process. We have localized versions of each in our own countries. This is the one for India, in which step number 1, we try to understand the market. Is the partner well known? And all of us are specialists in our own fields. So we also have our own knowledge. We get in touch with the relevant government departments to understand do they have the right license in place. And in India, you need a recruitment agency license to get hired or to hire a workforce for any other entity. If they have both in place, then we check what is their market standing right now. Are they good enough for the kind of sectors that you are looking at? And once all of these checks are done, a KYC is being done by my colleagues here in Finland to check whether the company is not bankrupt, is not blacklisted by any other international organizations. Of course, we prefer to work with companies that have already been in Europe, that have already worked in Finland, and there are a lot of companies that are doing that in India, because like I said, it is creating an ecosystem for the global workforce, not just for Finland. So there's a lot of potential, there's a lot of work happening, there's always a integration that could be done easily depending on a requirement. So we are very flexible in terms of the recruitment that would be done. Because what you want perhaps would have already been done in India by any other country. or any other partner. So that's very much possible. And towards the end, of course, I visit these companies and then only after that we introduce them to people like yourselves, to companies, to institutions, to schools. This is like a quick slide of the top partners. They were also here in May. Most of the Indian partners, as you can see, the companies are very willing to travel, to meet you, and of course you are more than welcome to come to India, and I'll be very happy to host you and make these companies meet you and find more partners. This is just recruitment partners, but we have a longer list of institutions and schools and vocational colleges as well. Great, thank you.
All right, then let's move to the Philippines and Jonas Halvi will give the presentation. Jonas, the mic is on the table.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Nice to be in Kuopio, the capital city of ice hockey and football nowadays. My name is Jonas Halvi. I work as a business development manager for our team, and on top of that, I'm responsible for the Philippines market. We are working with the Philippines since about a year ago. We started with an extensive ecosystem study together with researchers Tina Vaitinen, Meg Sakina and Latvala. We wanted to understand how the ecosystem works, and if you're interested in the studies, you can find the studies in the Talent Manager page. They are very good studies to understand how the market works. But Philippines has been around a few years, 50 years to be exact. They have sophisticated systems in place when it comes to sending overseas Filipino workers to global markets. It's roughly 2 million new hires a year, so just want to highlight the volumes that we are talking about. And out of that 2 million, it's only 5% to Europe, and out of that 5% is in the maximum year that we've had to Finland is 3,000 Filipino overseas workers. So there's a lot of room to grow, and if somebody says that Filipino market is too competitive, we can't manage, there's so much interest towards Finland in the Philippines currently. So yes, we can increase that number. If I want to, and I'm not a Filipino, I heard there's also a Filipino talent here that is very good to have Filipinos also here in Kuopio, but what I hear mostly from companies who contact me, and it's usually because somebody else has said that, okay, we have Filipino workers, they're hard working, resilient, and they're motivated talents, and they're also happy. So it's, I mean, we are happiest country, but it's always nice to have Filipinos that laugh a little bit more than we do. 10% of the volume, if we talk about 2 million, are technical engineering jobs. So there's really a lot of potential also in Filipino market for engineers, highly skilled Filipinos who have worked in the Saudis, in Gulf markets, in China, in mega giga projects. So they have these skills accumulated over years of working in different markets, in different setups. So I'm not a welder, but I remember we were talking about 3D and 4D welding, and so our companies were so impressed by the technical skills and also the equipment availability in the Philippines for validation and testing. So the ecosystem is large. I said I really recommend you to look at the study we've done. We work closely with Department of Migrant Workers. We work closely with Migrant Workers Office in London. We are hoping to bring a Migrant Workers Office to Finland one day. So hopefully soon, because it's not a good thing for Filipinos here in Finland either to travel outside of the European Union. That's a weird setup there, so hopefully we can correct that as well. We work closely with also OVA, and we want to increase that collaboration. Welfare of Filipino workers is our shared goal. I want want to highlight that it's not complicated. I don't want to paint a process picture. It's not complicated to hire Filipino workers from the Philippines. There's a process, but it is a manageable process. So how we can help is the similar process that Shrestha already explained. We have a process set up for validating our partners in the Philippines markets. We also have a 10 partner list, which I will show you very soon. It started already with Tina and Meg when we were going through that market and evaluated different associations in the Philippines who are working with ethical recruitment. We had a list of, I think, 40 to 50 PRAs, private recruitment agencies, in the market, and I did visit them all personally in their offices, not in a coffee shop, in their offices, to understand what kind of leadership they have, what kind of recruitment teams they have, where are they operating, how their facilities look, and what is the kind of cultural match also between the people in these companies and how I see the fit with Finnish companies. So we work closely with private sector mostly currently, all the big name companies we have been working with, and I'm very, very happy to see, because in the DMW, Department of Migrant Workers webpage, you can actually see the recruitments happening to Finland, and I really am so pleased that many of our partners are working already with the big name private sector recruiters in Finland. It is really nice to see. Okay, so I want to promote one thing here really quick. We are going to the Philippines and we are organizing a Friendship Week together with the Department of Migrant Workers and the Embassy of Finland in Manila. So if you still are interested in the market and want to join us, please come and talk to me. I'm really happy to talk about this delegation trip. We are already 15 people joining that trip, but Kuopio would be a nice addition to that list. So very quick, I know I'm taking a lot of time. Here is the list of our vetted partners, one of them being the exclusive partner to Barona here in Finland, EDI Staff Builders. We agreed with Barona so that all contact to EDI will go through Barona here in Finland. We have award-winning presidential award-winning Award of Excellence winners here. We have SL Search, ABBA, and IPANS being one of those. In case they're social and health sectors, ABBA is the premium partner for social and health sector in the Philippines. They've been around a long time. I want to quickly say what it means to have an award-winning agency in the Philippines. They are allowed to bypass the MWO migrant worker office process because they are trusted by the Department of Migrant Workers. It speeds up the new recruitments because in the Philippines you always have to register your company as a credible, accredited company who is recruiting Filipino talents through MWO Migrant Workers Office in London, hopefully one day here in Finland as well to smoothen that up. So many companies choose to work with award-winning companies to start with. We have ethical recruitment specialist staff house. I have had a lot of great discussions with Mark from Staff House. They have been around since the 90s, and from the beginning they have decided to focus on it is the employer who takes the main burden of the costs related to recruitment. They are really high on ethical recruitment. Mark is leading one of the most impressive ethical recruitment agencies, associations in the Philippines. So I'm really happy to talk with you during the break if you're interested about the Philippines. But yes, that's all I had to say. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Jonas. Next we have this Van Le from Vietnam.
Good morning, everyone. Lindeman, and it's so pleasure for me to be here at Kuopio. And yesterday the whole team has been in Kuopio, and we was at the belly button of the world, which is already for me is show how fun Kuopio people are. And 2 days ago, as a Talent Summit, we have mentioned about Sean mentioned about one statement that make Finland fun again, and I think Kuopio definitely reflect that, at least for myself. We have heard our colleague talk about India and Philippines. I will continue to take you to neighboring countries. So Philippines is Vietnam. Here is Ho Chi Minh City, where I based in. Here is some fact that we collect about Vietnam. I'm not sure how many of the audience have been to Vietnam before, but this is some statistics that we gather to provide some more information for a company who have been or who haven't been to Vietnam. So first of all, Vietnam is a country with actually the similar size to Finland, but the population is around 101 million populations, and more than half of the population is young, is in the labor age. So the country is quite potential for providing the workforce for Finland. And similar to India, Vietnam has been outsourcing countries for different countries in the world for many years. When we talk about labor, I also like one of the statement mentioned during the Talent Summit 2 days ago, that talent is a new currency. And I trust that when talents come to new countries, they always bring opportunities. And that is also something that I want to emphasize in the second point. So Vietnam is among of the fastest growing countries, economies in Southeast Asia, which means that there's a lot of opportunities, business opportunities, and cultural exchange, and many others when it comes to talent mobility. Then Vietnam migrations to Finland has been grew strongly from 2022 to 2024, and you can see on the statistic from April here. And there was one trend that's quite clear is that many Vietnamese actually prefer to come to Finland to study before they start to work. So there's a couple of there are many workers come directly to work, but in general, Vietnamese prefer to study first and work later in the country. So retention is definitely go hand in hand with the working attractions. And then there is some talent inside here about Vietnamese talent. Regarding STEM talent, the number of STEM talent is large in the countries, and Vietnam percentage of the university students in STEM field is around 28.7%, while in Finland it is 36%. English proficiency, while many professionals in IT and service sector are fluent in English, but there are still potential barriers, especially when it comes to when the talent is not coming from major cities. And from our experience, mostly our work is focused in Ho Chi Minh City and the south of Vietnam. However, there are some interesting facts about talent global competitiveness index 2023. I also want to share with you that there is one highlight is that the high value export rankings of the labor is ranking fourth among in the world among 133 countries. Additionally, the ability in reading math and science is ranking 15 in the world. This is also quite a surprise to me. Regarding to the labor employer corporations, is ranking 27th. So it shows somehow the corporation willingness in cooperation with employers of the Vietnamese. And apart from that, as our colleagues mentioned earlier about recruitment process, there's different path to attract the talent to a country or the cities. Shrestan and Jonas already explained how we filter the partner that we work with, and it's required a lot of groundwork. And for myself, I check their website. Also, I go to visit them directly to see, because there's a lot of details that you have to see them in person, or see the partner in person to able to know inside the company. And here's if you scan this QR code, then you can see the list of recruitment company that I have that we have been working with. But of course, this is more for more for a partner to work with in to attract skilled workers. And when it comes to institutions or specialist recruitment companies, we are more than happy to meet with you and from your demand, and we can see who is going to be the suitable partner for you. And in addition to that, there is an additional program we participate with country branding for country branding, and so coming up in this year is the Nordic Ways that we will collaborate with Nordic Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, and we will share about Finnish working value and also share about opportunities in Finland. And workshops to share about Finland in general. And next year, one of our flagship events is with the Work and Startup in Finland, together with our Discover Finland team. And then that is about Vietnam. And if you have any questions, just come to speak with me. And now you will move to another country from another side of the world, Brazil.
Hyvää huomenta. Don't get too excited, that's the only thing I can say in Finnish. And noni, which makes me almost fluent. Thank you so much for that. This is an amazing audience. Thank you for having us here. So now we're going to Brazil. How many of you have ever been to Brazil? Okay, so yeah, we have our team doesn't count this because we know we're a large country, so let's understand a bit more about this new market. So why Brazil? Maybe your companies didn't think about Brazil yet, and this is a thing that also for Brazilians, Finland is not the first country they think of. And that's why we're here. We're changing this kind of way of thinking about Brazilians coming to Finland. We're talking about a population of 215 million people, and we have around 4.9 million talents working abroad. So this is almost Finland in a way, so of talents working abroad. And here is a bit of an overview about Brazil. So we are a very young population, and most of the sectors that we have our professionals on are IT sectors, the ones that work abroad, so IT, AI, engineering, admin, and law professionals. So this is something that we need to take into consideration when talking to Brazil, because it is a niche country in terms of attracting talents. We have a thing that just 5% of Brazilian population can speak English, but this represents around 10.7 million people, which is already a lot. And those professionals are very niche in those markets. So these are the ones we need to focus on when thinking about Brazil. I'm not staying too much into my slides because I'm pretty sure that my colleagues have better PPT skills than I am. But here you can see a little bit of the landscape of Brazil. So we are, as I mentioned before, a young population, is still with a lot of opportunities of growing abroad. During the pandemics and after that, so many Brazilians started looking for opportunities elsewhere. The most countries that Brazilians normally go to is Portugal, Spain, Paraguay, and the US. This is basically because of the language. In the US, there are some Brazilians that work online, so they can have the chance to work for international companies. But the mindset is changing, and Brazilians are really thinking about going abroad. The thing is that how we communicate this to them to attract those talents to Finland specifically. So this you can see a little bit about our landscape. And with Finland-Brazil cooperation, how can you hire Brazilian talents? Most of Brazilians are looking for new jobs on LinkedIn. So this is our main source of information for looking for new jobs. We have around 80 million users on LinkedIn. So we are the third one in the world of LinkedIn users. So that's where you need to post your open positions, and that's how you need to communicate with the Brazilian community. And even though we have this few population that can speak English, it's also really important maybe to see the messaging, to send the messaging, maybe at some point in Portuguese. Using social media is a thing in Brazil, so I'm talking about TikTok, Instagram, so this is a thing in Brazil. So when considering having to achieve Brazilian talents, these are the way to go through, and of course our team, we are here to also help you with that. And also going through partners. In Brazil right now, we have been partnering with some Brazilian institutions. So here you can see, for example, that we have this MOU with APEX. APEX is the Agency for Export Promotion in Brazil, and we have been working with them to promote Finland as a place for international talent attraction. And this way is interesting because the past events that we have been participating, people are really curious about Finland. Because before it's like, oh, what's Finland? What Finland does have? Well, Kimi Haikonen, it's very known in Brazil, so very well known. Also Santa Claus, people know that Santa Claus comes from Finland. But at the end of the day, what else Finland has to offer? For Brazil, so the selling points of Finland for Brazilians is that here we have security, work-life balance. Of course, I don't need to tell you guys what you guys have here already, but it's important to see what kind of selling points are important for the Brazilians. If they need to leave their home and come all the way to Finland, that's the value added they need to find here in our country. So it's hard for them. The weather might be a challenge, to be honest. I mean, this is something we need to take into consideration. But once a person decides, especially on those niche fields, once the person decides to come to Finland, then you have it all. So, and also another thing it's important that for Brazilians is the matter of having the whole family bringing. So we've been hearing this whole week some spouse support also, and also support for the whole family to come. This is important because we are very family people. We want people to be with us when we move abroad, so this is something also to take into consideration. And I don't know, oh sorry, I may skip like the top. Well, so just to finalize my presentation, so keep Brazil in mind. It is a huge country. We have a lot of talents. We have very good universities. We can work on different fields. We have amazing and young professionals looking for opportunities. And now with these things happening, with the US and the world changing, and now with the EU-Mercosur agreement coming to actually, hopefully it will come at some point, these are things that we need to take into consideration and have Brazil in your map when thinking about talent attraction. We are very hard workers, very talented people, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to find amazing people to work. It's just a matter of how you promote this. Storytelling is everything for Brazilians. We love it, and I'm pretty sure you'll be positively surprised with the amount of good professionals we have in the region. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sophia, and thank you everyone. So that was our session from Work in Finland. So just summarizing a couple of things. First of all, there was a lot of information. So if you missed out something or anything, you can have a look at our website as well. So it's workinfinland.fi. So all of our company services are available on that website. Second thing, let's use this time for networking. So if you want to speak to any of us here in the room, please let's just do it. If you need help speaking with talent managers or identifying who is whom, you can also come to me. I'm happy to facilitate. And then just thirdly, because this is the conclusion of our part, I just want to give my warm thank you to the local organizers, because I know you have been working really hard for this event, which has been super successful. So thank you very much, Samuli, Tiina, Kirsi Maria, and many others who have been working for this event. So thank you so much from our side. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Do you hear my voice? Yes? Good. Thank you, Laura, and all the talent managers.
Yeah. Much better. Hei, seuraavaksi sitten estradille